Hey there, miners. Rusty coming at you here. Got a review on the CIVIVI Dogma. I really like this knife. Hopefully you guys saw sort of a little teaser. I released a video just before that on these three knives, try to give you a look at them outside. So we'll take a look. I'll tell you how the story went on these ones. I picked this one up first. I've always liked the looks of the Dogma. I just never went for it. And decided to go. This is my first Damascus steel. CIVIVI Damascus is 9 CR, 18 MOV, and they're 10 CR steel. I reached out to them, gave them a call, or sent them an email actually. This is white G10 with carbon fiber, and all the Dogmas have this jig bone to them, so a nice jig bone pattern, and you're going to get it's layered with the carbon fiber and the G10. I paid $85 for this, and from what I can tell, this is a discontinued model. I think the Dogmas are going to be discontinued, so we're going to compare it. As you know, I picked up a couple more. Looks like we got this black back spacer with a lanyard hole. Not really sure what's in between here, but the liners do come out and extend past this. Reversible pocket clip, T8 hardware all around, the nice CIVIVI logo, and it's a captured pivot. If you guys are familiar with how CIVIVI captures it, just got a little indentation in there. This one has what's known as a full fuller, so right through here, which will allow you to thumb flick it and spidey flick it, as well as the flipper. That's a take a look at your Damascus. Hopefully you guys will see the pictures. In the sunlight, it is real Damascus, and when you run your thumb over it, you can feel those layers. So good access to the lock bar. I won't complain about that. And this one came already set up with good action. So, and that's your finger flick. So this one's my favorite one. It's got this sort of a built-in bolster, if you will. Always had my eye on just a base model G10. This one did come gray. I'll try to get a picture of how this one came. So that's sort of what this knife looked like before. I went with a graphite dye. I was hoping to get a shiny black. Came out with a kind of a really dark purple, and dyed the back spacer on here. I did swap the clip on this, and I used the same pocket screws. I swapped all the screws here that this knife originally came onto my third Dogma, but this one has the open fuller, so the thumb hole there. Take a peek at this. So the blade on this is not original to this knife. I found a screaming deal on eBay where I was able to pick up a brass Damascus Dogma for, well, about $30 less than you could brand new. So they all have this nice fuller. Love the fuller, no jimping. We'll do a little comparison, and I debated whether or not to go with the liners right here. Which liner should I keep on which knife? So I stole the blade out of this, stole some hardware, stored the, this had black screws and a black clip and the Damascus blade. This is brass, which is much heavier knife. And because I went with this satin finished D2 blade on this one, you guys can see a nice hollow grind. I like that shine. I wanted to do others, with the shine. I will tell you, and I don't know if it's because I used different screws, so I used you know, the stainless type looking screws in here, but I didn't switch out. There's a little barrel spacer in that G10 and that back spacer, and boy oh boy, they are in there. I was going to take it out just to see how it looked if I did this one with these liners, which are sort of a gray, just to get more of that, and then the black on this one. But that's been a lot. I got tired of working on them. It got stuck in there pretty good, just that one screw on those pocket clips. So this one has a little softer detent and not set up as well for the action, and I don't know why that is, but we can test this one. This is original edge, $47 if you get this with the G10, and about $65 you can get this, $67 with the brass, this setup here, although more of them are going to be the black blade. You can get the brass with this satin finish blade. Let's go ahead and give it a sharpness test. This one says hospitals to avoid. What are we looking at here? Much deader than a doornail, about half as dead as a doornail, almost as dead as a doornail, deader in a doornail. So definitely want to stay out of that one. Let's give the D2. Yep. Very nice. Part of that could be this grind. It comes down, again, Canadian cutting edge. Measured the Dogma at 18 thousandths of an inch. So I assume that's the same on all these. And boy, you just pick up the G10 over the brass and you can just tell much thinner. So factory edge on the Damascus. Okay. Let's try the used CIVIVI, and I will admit I have stropped this. So whoever had this before must have put a little bit of use on it, and I tried to strop out some of that. Might end up putting my own edge on here, and I might end up using this one. The blade's already been used, and the G10's lighter. Just want to know your opinion if you guys. If you want me to be sweat, blood, and tears and get the black liners in there, if you think that'll complement this. Part of my thinking when I put it together was to sort of have black and, you know, shiny, like the blade has the black with shiny. So that's kind of what my thought process was when I did that. Better do the old peanut test. Used knife. Okay, with some stropping, new knife, very nice, and oh boy, this knife here just feels so good in the hands, so light. Loving this one. So this one's going to be one of my keepers. I'm going to put it in my collection with just hold on to it for later. Some of my titanium Tucson, some of my higher end knives, I actually just keep them for show. So, well, what else can we do for you guys here? I guess we'll break out. We'll keep my favorite one on the table here, and we'll do some size comparisons. So, for size, this is how we're looking against the Rat 1. Just a tad smaller. If you guys have been following my channel long enough, you know I like just a tad smaller than the Rat 1. Great knife, just a little big for me. And the Rat 2 is a little small. Gonna be doing a review on this one. Maybe you guys will recognize this later. Excuse me, Steel Will Cut Jack, and that's the mini. And I picked that one up because I like the Dogma so much. It's got this finger choil. It has jimping. It's D2, but it's a flat grind, and it doesn't run on bearings. So we'll save that for a later date, kind of show it off for you guys. See how it turns out for you. So we'll give these guys another view. And you guys can see all of them there. That's what we're looking at. So I could recommend this Dogma. I should talk about the point on these. We'll get into that blade just one more second here. I think we'll see it easier on this. Very pointy. In fact, I was just kind of not paying attention, and it's been a while, and boy, I gave myself a little poke, and it was, you know, it poked in and took out a little chunk of skin. Very, very pointy tip. So very pokey, but for an everyday carry knife, you got to be careful, because you're going to do any stabbing, you got a chance of bending or even breaking that tip. But if you're looking for something that slices, I'll tell you, the way this thing tucks into your hand, I really, really like that. It feels very agile. So very nice carry knife. These again, about 67. I bought this one for 85. I'm seeing them going for $100 right now. Not very many left. And just a basic G10 is $47. Come in a couple different colors. So, okay guys, thanks for tuning in.